Steph is running into the front court. Draymond finds him another three. Got it! 62! 62! And he actually surpasses his buddy Klay Thompson.
No.
Klay had that 60 spot against Indy.
Oh, yeah. Big game, Dame. Can't dish it out and not be able to take it. Dame actually dropped his career high of 61 against the Warriors, and Steph came back and did him one better. What else do we have? We got something from Klay. Jeez. Welcome to the club, dog. Hey, 60 for Klay. The only two guards in the last 30 years for the Warriors to do that, to drop 60, is Klay and Steph. So tipping his hat to his teammate Steph Curry. And the performance was unlike anything that we've seen in some time. Welcoming you back. There's Zeke, there's Coach. Coach, Zeke, started with you, obviously playing the point guard position. I saw you post on social media about Steph. Tell me your thoughts watching Steph put on that show last night. Zeke can't hear me right now, so we'll just bring this conversation to Coach. Coach, obviously you're paying attention. We've seen what Steph has been going through this season, a lot of chirping saying, does he still have it? Are the Warriors going to make the playoffs? And then he explodes for 62. What did you see last night?
I saw Steph Curry re-engaged. Look, he's still averaging 30-plus points a game and putting up numbers, but that spark in his eyes, that determination, had not seen that early in the season. But the other night against Portland, and you said it, Damian Lillard had dropped 61 on him before Steph Curry came back, and they needed a game like this from Steph Curry. Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Oubre, James Wiseman, they needed to know their leader was back, because we all have forgot how special a player Steph Curry has been, because we haven't seen him in a while, out of sight, out of mind. But he reminded us that he's still one of the top 5, 6 players in the league. He proved it last night. And I think you're going to see the Warriors kind of take off a little bit after a performance like that, because Andrew Wiggins is quietly starting to play better. Kelly Oubre is finding himself. Draymond Green is back. And James Wiseman is looking like we all thought he would be, a very good player. So Steph Curry having a game like that is going to energize his Warriors team. It's going to get them back on track, because we know it's going to be a difficult season without Klay, but we still expect this Warriors team with Steph, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins to compete for a playoff spot.
They have a plethora of talent, just like Roy Jones once said. Y'all must have forgot. Some of y'all clearly did out there. We saw what was popping on Twitter. Zeke, I saw you on social media posting about Steph Curry. Your thoughts about his 62-point performance?
Hey, I didn't forget. I mean, my two favorite guards to watch play, Steph Curry and Kyrie Irving. And every time they playing, I'm excited. And when Steph got into his bag of tricks, I knew, I was like, oh, he getting ready to go off, because you could tell when he started shimmying, when he got the little floater in the lane, the little step back, and then it was on. Then you saw Draymond get the Steph Curry eye, like Earl Cureton used to say. Mo Cheeks had the Dr. J eye. The only person he saw was Dr. J. Well, Draymond said, the only person I'm seeing right now is Steph Curry. And everybody just started picking for him. And the little fella, I call him little fella, but he's bigger than me. He's taller than me. but man, he got hot, and he went to shaking and shimmying. The only thing that wasn't good was that Sam, wrote there were no fans in the building.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you'd have had some fans in the building,
He might have had 80.
Would have been playing. Oh, Lord have mercy.
It would have been okay with me, because he could have took that record that's been hung on my head off me. It would have been okay with me.
Sam, he shot one, and it looked like he shot it and put his whole hand in the rim and followed through. Oh, man. It
Steph.
was beautiful.
We needed about, 20 more points?
Yeah, we did.
20 more, Steph. You disappointed
Sam,
me.
I tweeted last year. I was like, I miss watching Steph Curry play. And then if you can imagine if Steph and Klay would have been in a bubble last year, and how that bubble was set up, they would have been clowning up in that bubble, man. Because you had guys getting 40, 50 like it wasn't nothing. Steph and Klay in the bubble, that would have been a problem. That would have been a problem.
Man.
Floor, you got to be tuned in. He may do something wild.
There's a different energy to this man's game.
He came out looking like a man on a mission.
Yeah, he is eating the Blazers for dinner tonight. Draymond finds him another three. Got it! 62!
You the Jordan meme, right? I take all that personally.
Get it, Steph. taking 2021 seriously, guys. 62. And here's the thing. It wasn't just against anybody. It was against the Blazers, a really good team. So, Stephen A., what did the performance tell you about him?
Well, it just reminded me that this is the greatest shooter since mankind existed. I've never seen a shooter greater than Steph Curry. I mean, it's off the dribble, it's spot up, it's anywhere on the floor, it's his movement without the basketball, it's catch and shoot, it's taking you off the dribble, it's spotting up. This brother is the greatest shooter we have ever seen, period. And when you take that in consideration and you just tickle your imagination as to when Klay gets back, the Golden State Warriors will be back at the very least in the conference finals because they're just too lethal of marksmen to ignore. I want to put this into consideration. Steph Curry is considered to be struggling. He is averaging 32 points on 45% shooting from the field, 36% shooting from three-point range, and that's considered struggling. Oh, by the way, he's shooting 98% from the free throw line. I mean, this is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. This is who he is. The first 10 years of his career, this man has shot better than 40% from three-point range. The first 10 years of his career. We celebrate people who do it once. And this dude did it the first 10 years. He is the greatest shooter man has ever seen. I know it sounds hyperbolic. It's not. It is not an exaggeration. I don't care whether you bring in Bird, whether you bring in Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, Chris Mullin. I don't give a damn. There has never been a shooter this great. And when Klay gets back, look the hell out. Golden State is going to be immediately back in championship contention. And by the way, I like that kid Wiseman.
Well, he's clearly the greatest shooter ever. He's a mobile artillery unit because he can go get his own shot, and he invented shooting it from a million miles away, which created even more space. You know, everyone, how can you change the NBA? Make it a 4-point shot if it's farther away. So it didn't occur to people, no, it's all right to shoot it from 10 feet behind the arc if you can hit it regularly, which he can, which opens up the whole offense. He revolutionized the game. And by the way, for years, I thought he was not a clutch shooter, Stephen A. I saw it in the playoffs. I don't care what anyone says. You go back and look at the highest leverage moments. I thought, why is Steph not as good here as he normally is? Shooting the ball. Even that started to change. Even that started to change. You know, that started to change. Given enough reps, he's now deadly in the clutch with the ball in his hand. It wasn't always that way. It is now. This is what I was thinking yesterday. This is what I took from the performance. And like a lot of people, I was watching football and keeping track of what was going on in the basketball game. Oh, my God, Steph went for, 31 at the half. Now he's up to 40-something. Now he's up to 50-something, 62. Stephen A., there have been more athletic point guards than Steph, obviously. Allen Iverson or Russell Westbrook, MVPs who are clearly more gifted athletically overall, right? There have been better two-way point guards than Steph Curry. Chris Paul or Isaiah Thomas, right, or John Stockton. There have been players who've done a lot of what Steph has done. Steve Nash, although Steph is really Nash 2.0 because he doesn't need to monopolize the ball. It doesn't stick with him, and he shoots it even better than Nash. But when I look at the history of the NBA, you take away Magic Johnson, right? Modern NBA, take away Magic, who's 6'8", 6'9". He is a point guard, and he's the greatest ever. But I'm talking about of the regular-sized point guards. Steph's the best who ever did it. He's the greatest of all time. And for all the reasons I just mentioned. Ball doesn't stick. Unselfish player who can score from anywhere, who makes all his teammates better shooters. And by the way, he's not a good defender because he's not big. He's wiry. He's not so long. But he plays defense. It's not like he's not there. Go ahead.
Steph Curry the other day in practice, Max, made 105 straight three-pointers. 105.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Straight three-pointers without a miss. Steve Kerr had the joke of the year when he sat up there and said he choked. He didn't get to 106. You understand? 105 straight
anything 105 times in a row.
Can you imagine how motivated he must be having to sit all last year and then Clay goes down. I mean, it's like his back's against the wall, and he's just showing us who he is. We
He's
will leave it there.
motivating the triple
Don't forget
teaming and
also,
trapping him and all of that stuff, but he's special.
Yeah, of course.
Just
And
special.
he's not playing around.
Changed
He's
the game.
showing him, he's that dude. I just want to mention this, though. They do play the Clippers Wednesday. That one's on ESPN, so that game should be a lot of fun. When we come back here, how upset should the